All right, everyone, welcome to Strip Club. Thanks very much. I'm here to present our latest strip club pattern. It's called Dazzle. Do you like it?
Yes.
Well, I love this one. You know, I love all the new ones, right? But this one in particular, I think I'm going to show you how to put the blocks together, and you'll see how simple it is. And I'm going to tell you how we put this together by colors. First of all, we start with two different colors. You might see three in the quilt, and I'll tell you about them. But with our strip sets, and when I say strips, I mean our print strips. When you buy a bundle of 2.5-inch strips, the colors that are in that collection. We have two colors. One is black, the other is gold. You see the black and the gold? So they are fairly two distinct colors in this quilt, black and gold. In addition, we have a background fabric. Now for our background fabric, we used a 2.5-inch bundle of various neutrals. So you also see that in the quilt. So black, gold, and then neutrals. So the neutrals and the gold look like they could be the same fabric, one darker and then one lighter. For the neutrals, we picked a bundle of pre-cut 2.5-inch strips that change in color. So I don't know if you can see this. Everyone zoom in your eyes. So you see there are various neutral colors. They go from almost a light cream to a gray to a black, or to a dark gray. We did not use the darker ones. We stuck to the very lighter ones. So in order to get enough strips to make this quilt, we actually needed two of these bundles. We pulled out exactly the colors that we like that look nice with our gold strips, and then we put the other aside for another project. If you need another project, I have a great resource for patterns for tuning. So first gold, black, and background. Those are the three basic fabrics that you need to make this quilt. These are the strip rollers. I'll put them up on the quilt so you can see them, because we make these suckers clear. Sometimes when I can't find it on the cutting board, I curse that we make them clear. And then we use them, and I realize why. Okay, so this is Junior. Junior does everything the big guy does? No. Big guy does everything the little guy does. The little one is just smaller. It's more comfortable for smaller cuts. So first we'll take 2.5-inch strips, sew them together. In this case, we'll take two different black 2.5-inch strips. Two different black 2.5-inch strips, sew them together. Now I'm going to take two gold strips and sew those two together. Are you with me? Yep. Press the seams in one direction. The pattern, which by the way is called Dazzle, and if you don't have it, run to your local quilt shop. And if you are at your local quilt shop, as you guys know, you have the pattern in your hand. Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. I wasn't fishing for a plug. I just lost my thought. The pattern will give you excellent pressing tips. Fantastic pressing tips, so when your block comes together, it all nests beautifully. Well thought out, excellent. So follow the pattern directions. So here I have two strip sets. Now in typical strip tube ruler, I'm going to put one on top of the other. And so 1/4-inch seam up along the top and down the bottom to make a tube. Here's a tube. We have the black on top of the gold, right sides together. We have a 1/4-inch seam up along the top and a 1/4-inch seam down along the bottom. We're going to take our strip tube ruler. Here's Senior. We'll place the appropriate line on the bottom stitching line. Are you guys ready?
Yep.
Cut up and cut down to cut out a triangle.
Brilliant.
No, not yet. Strip tube ruler on the bottom stitching line, up and down to cut out a triangle. Triangle looks a little bit like this. Pull that away from your tube, and then open it up, and you get a diagonally pieced square.
Brilliant!
Oh, that's well done. Very nice.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So a diagonally pieced square. Next time you cut off of the top stitching line. Now if you've been around us for a little while, you'll know The $10 tip won't say this in the pattern. Instead of moving your ruler to the top stitching line, change this to the bottom stitching line simply by flipping your strip set over. Okay, now you're patronizing me. So this time, you'll put it on the bottom stitching line, up and down, cut out another triangle. Triangle might look a little bit like this. Open it up, and you get another diagonally pieced square.
Brilliant.
We're just not in unison. Let's try it again. Okay. Pull it away from your tube, open it up, and get another diagonally pieced square.
Brilliant.
Okay, so we're going to do a handful of these in various different combinations. So here we have black and gold, right? Again, black and gold. Should I stand on this side? Is that better? Okay, black and gold. Then we're also going to do gold with background. Then we're going to do background with black. And then we're going to do background on background. So 4 different variations of the same block. And then we're going to put these 4 together. Now if you do not have, or you are not using neutral 2.5-inch strips, you can start with running background, running yardage for your background. You do not have to use 2.5-inch strips. We give you the alternative cutting directions and the yardage you need in the pattern so that you can just buy a single piece of fabric for your background. You also do not need to separate your fabrics into 2 colors. I might have a sample similar to that later in the presentation. So I have these 4 pieces. With these 4 pieces, I'm going to make a quadrant of the block. So a quarter of the block. Let's see if I can do it.
We have faith in you.
Yeah. Thank you for having faith in me. And the key with this pattern, as with any pattern, is to look at the pictures and follow along. Okay, check me. Yeah, I'm looking at the pictures. I'm good? Okay.
So far, so good.
Yeah, we got it.
Okay, so here we have, just as I had before, same 4 pieces, gold on black, black on background, gold on background, background on background. You put these 4 together to make a quadrant. You do a whole bunch of quadrants, and then you'll sew the quadrants together, twisting and turn them to make the block.
Awesome.
And there's your block. You follow? Isn't it fantastic how you can take something that looks so remarkable and so complicated, break it down into the components, smaller components, and then it starts with 2.5-inch strips. So this is your single block. A bunch of those blocks twisted and turned, they come together. It's the secondary design, as with a lot of our patterns, that I think make it sparkle. Here's your main star, and then the 4 corners come together to create the little diamond. Good? Yep. So, 2 colors, black and gold, a whole set of different neutral backgrounds. Order 1, which in this case is a simple, the same light, which is actually Hoffman's latte fabric. And then we have this wonderful outer print for border 2. Put it all together. Very nice?
Yes.
Oh yeah, after you cut off your triangles, you cut off the little dog ears. Oh, you can use your ruler to do it, because, right, we found out this very cool thing. Okay. No, it's okay. We'll share. Yeah, it's very cool. I don't have one that doesn't have dog ears. Okay. Now zoom in with me, everybody. Here's a triangle that we cut from the strip set, right? Now notice the triangle doesn't go all the way to the point, so we've got the dog ears cut off. Here's a fantastic way to cut off the dog ears.
Turn it upside down. There you go. No.
Just turn the
Yes.
triangle upside down.
Oh, very good.
Put the cutting line on.
Okay, so we've cut this, we take the same measurement that we cut, and now we place the ruler. Wasn't prepared to do this tip. That's okay. We can do it. Are you following me?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna place the ruler on the triangle, and then cut and cut. It's the same measurement as you cut the first time, only now you're cutting off those dog ears. Most of the time, when I do it, before I learned this tip, I would open up the block, press, and then cut flush with the sides, whichever way you prefer to do it. Either way, there's normally a little triangle that hangs off. We call them dog ears or rabbit ears. Those have to go away in order to put your blocks together properly. So there's your $20 tip. So you owe me $30.
You said it was our tip.
Okay.
You're giving it to us.
Okay, yes, I'm giving it to you. Any questions on the quilt? No? Do you like it?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely lovely. Would you like to see the other colorway?
Yes.
Daniela,
Yes.
did you coordinate your outfit with the quilt?
I did. I actually was wearing all brown and I thought, there's no brown in there. And I ran back into the house and came back. So this is, in this quilt, we use running yardage for the background. And we started with a 2.5-inch strip set. In this case, it's this 2.5-inch strip set, very rich, beautiful colors. And our sample maker separated them into cool colors and warm colors. So instead of gold and black, it was cool and warm. But it was all the same fabric for the background. So now you can see the difference. And I think this one's little enough for me that I can hold. Different, but equally pretty, right? Thank you, Lonnie. Right here. Thank you, Lonnie.
You zoomed in right?
It's neat, isn't it? Yeah, it's very pretty. Great strip bundle collection. Now to blow your mind, I want you to think of it in green and red. Or what about blue and red with white background? Wouldn't that be lovely? Or pick your favorite color combination. Purple and yellow, teal and yellow, blue and yellow.
So this
Brown
is
and
just
pink.
the same color background for everything.
That's right. So we have running yardage. So we went to the cutting station and it was whatever the yardage was, one cut. Now, if you follow the pattern, you'll see that we have you sew two different background strips of 2.5 inches together. Well, that equals 4.5 inches. So when you use running yardage, you don't have to cut them into 2.5 inch. We skip right to the 4.5 inch because it's the same fabric. Why sew them together? Very pretty?
Yes.
Any questions on Dazzle?
I love it.
I do like the way the background fabrics with the different colors in it make it sparkle. Make it dazzle. Well, if you don't have any more questions, maybe we'll do this again next month with a different pattern. What do you think? Yeah. Great. Come back next month, we'll have another pattern that uses 2.5 inch strips.